Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. We are here with the new head coach of the Sweetwater Mustangs, Coach Russell Lucas. Coach, first off, congratulations on the new gig, and we appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
You know, when you took the Sweetwater job, talking to folks in the big country and having chats with you, Hamlin's a great place, and it was going to take a special situation for you to even consider leaving Hamlin. What was it about the Sweetwater job when it opened up that intrigued you so much?
Well, if you know West Texas tradition, Sweetwater's always been at the top out there. They have such an iconic venue. I grew up, I actually had a cousin, an older cousin that coached there back in the 70s. So I grew up going to that stadium, watching them play.
The Mustang Bowl is a special place.
Oh, it's an unbelievable place. And, know the tradition that's been there and the guys that have led that team in the past. It was just an unbelievable opportunity for us. And to think that they'd let me have that whistle to lead those guys was a pretty humbling experience.
When you look at your ball club in 2021, I think you guys have a chance to be pretty good. I mean, you bring a lot of talent back, and from a team that was really good last year. Coach McGee and that staff did a really good job with those guys last year, and you're coming in you're inheriting an experienced ball club. And that's not always the case when a new coach comes in.
Right.
A lot of the time,
they leave the cupboard bare.
You're coming into a place that hasn't had success or a place that graduated real heavy. How do you handle installing, trying to not fix what's broken, but also putting your own spin on things? How do you kind of find that balance?
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's not. You're right. To be able to walk in and have that kind of talent is pretty cool deal. Honestly, our two philosophies offensively were very similar, so it's not going to be that much of a change. And the kids were all anxious about that. When they first met me, they were. I kidded with them. I said, they asked me what we're going to run. I told them we're going to run the Wishbone. And, of course, for years that was great in Sweetwater. And there'd probably be some people that would really like that to come back.
Yeah, back in the day, I think Sweetwater won a state championship running the Wishbone in the 80s.
Yeah, Coach Stapler is from Hamlin, and so I'd had some conversations with Coach Stapler. And but anyway, it's a great group of kids, and they do have some talent. And the great thing about Sweetwater kids is they expect to win. They think they're going to win, and so that goes a long way. So, we just try to get out of their way, put them in the right spots, and give them a chance, get the ball in the guys' hands that can make plays, and let's go play football.
Sometimes football is not that complicated, right? Some guys try to make it real complicated, and sometimes it's not super complicated, is it?
Yeah, as Alan Waters always says at Air It Out Camp, he said, we're not trying to put somebody on the moon here. We're just trying to make a first down. So, yeah, it's not that complicated.
When you look at the challenges that athletics in the state of Texas faced last year, and you go into this offseason, how difficult would this job have been if we were under last year's circumstances? Could you imagine trying to do what you're doing and with all the restrictions we had last year?
Yeah, it'd been terrible because we have been able to build some relationship with kids and be around and even take some of them home and be in their houses and be at school with them and see them at church and all those things that we get to do that last year wouldn't be able to do. And so, when we show up to 2 days, it's not going to all be fresh faces. There'll be a few of them that will have gained that, maybe weren't in the program at the end of the year last year because a new coach is there. They might have signed up.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing, right?
So we're looking forward to it.
When you look at your ball club, what needs to go right for the Sweetwater Mustangs in 2021 in order to have the kind of success? And we think you guys have a chance to challenge for a regional title. And Region 1 is very good, and 4A Division 2, there's good programs there. But we think you guys are in that mix as well. What needs to go right for you guys to live up to those expectations?
Well, we're not very deep on with our linemen, offensive, defensive linemen. So we've got to have some kids grow up there. I think we are changing philosophy a little bit defensively, and so that's got to come on and mature and be successful on defense. But then I think those guys that everybody's expecting to make plays, that needs to happen too. We've got a great quarterback, and there's some great skilled people around him, and so but that has to happen. It's not going to happen just because they've got a year older. They're going to have to go ahead and perform at a different level than they were in the past if we're going to contend for the region, because it is a tough region.
And your district's not easy. I mean, you got some good people in your district. There's some old rivalries in that district and teams. Those teams have been playing for generations out there in West Texas. Taking you guys out of the mix, how do you see the district shaking out, and what kind of challenges are those teams going to present to you guys?
Well, not being familiar, not playing at that level before, I don't know that much about those teams. I've watched them all play Sweetwater on film. And, I know Snyder's just down the road, and And I've been in enough rivalry games to know that it doesn't really matter how talented either team is. That's going to always be a difficult game.
And Sweetwater and Snyder is that's a rivalry right there, isn't it?
And I've been reminded that pretty regular. You know, Greenwood's had some talented teams, and they've got some good guys coming back. Quarterback.
When you watch the film on the teams in your district, I'm assuming you see teams that have good talent and are really well coached, right?
Coached, very well coached. You know, that Pecos bunch, Pecos historically has just been pretty, you know,
middle of the road, right?
Just kind of, you know, always not terrible, but not the team that's going to contend for the region. But those guys scare me because they do such a good job, you know, making those 3 or 4 yard big old running backs and pound the ball up in there. So. Yeah, there's not any of those district opponents that I'm thinking in my mind that, oh yeah, this is going to be a nice easy week for us. It's going to be tough.
But I mean, you live for those challenges, right? That's what makes this business fun, right? Because you know you're. Cause that's why I tell people all the time that you see teams when they celebrate those wins in the playoffs, those big wins. Those games mean more when you're playing someone at or above your level because you're playing somebody that's a really good that could beat you if you don't play well, right?
Right. And I think that'll be the difference for me. You know, sometimes at the 2A level we were at, we outclassed some people because we were very fortunate to have some outstanding athletes, and sometimes we were just better than the teams we were playing. And I think that gap narrows a little bit as you get to the larger schools because everybody's got some guys that can play, and so each win is special. You know, to think that we're going to get to turn over win number 700 hopefully at some point this year, that's a huge deal in the state of Texas. There's
rarefied air.
Less than 20 schools are in that club right now, so it's a big deal, and it's an honor to get to be there and be a part of that.
How exciting is it to be back at coaching school in person? How I mean, does it get you fired up for the season?
Yes, we missed that last year, you know, and just kind of threw the whole start to the season off, and it's great to see old friends and get to shake hands and tell stories, and that's what we do at coaching school. So it's great to be here and great to see you guys.
Now we've been to Mustang Bowl is one of those places that you got to go to if you're a Texas high school football fan. It is one of the most special stadiums in the state of Texas. And Tepper and myself and the crew, we've been out to a game in the Mustang Bowl. But now I want to know what when we come to it now with you being there, where do we need to go pregame meal? Where's the best spot to eat pregame in Sweetwater?
Man, we've got some of the best Mexican food around. I've been really excited about all. You know, in Hamlin we only had 2 or 3 choices. So
Sweetwater's got a few more options.
Yeah, La Cocina's pretty good. If you want a breakfast burrito, the Papagayo's pretty good. Morales. Tita's, there's lots of good Mexican food.
You got a Whataburger in town too. That's nice, right?
Oh yeah. Whataburger.
There you go, Coach. Appreciate your time. Congrats on the new gig, and we're looking forward to watching you guys in 2021. And we appreciate what you do for student athletes in the state of Texas.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
appreciate
Coach.
you.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.